Time now for the Friend Zone. We invite one of our friends within the building here at Fox onto the show. Lots of people at Fox have had lives before Fox, but very few have had a life as interesting as Fox Business Network's Melissa Francis. Melissa, it's great to see you tonight.
Great to see you. I'm so excited to be associated with you tonight because you're like the king of cable. So I just wanted to rub off on me.
Right. I don't feel very kingly, but thank you very much. So you, long before you got into this business, were an actor, and I'm sure many of our viewers know that, but you're writing, I think, a book in part about that. Explain.
That's true. I have a new book that comes out in April. Oh, there's the cover right there. And basically, most self-help books are really annoying. This one will actually make you snort with laughter, mostly at me. I make fun of myself through almost the whole book, but then along the way, I came up with some good lessons and some great formulas to kind of tackle the problems that dog everyone. And what I realized was, and when I left Hollywood, which is insane, as you know, that a lot of the great values that I learned on the Prairie really apply to the rest of your life and the rest of America outside of Hollywood, like self-reliance, independence, hard work, all those kind of things.
Oh, I love that. So how old were you when you started Little House on the Prairie?
So I was 8 years old when I was, pardon me, I got a frog in my throat there because I'm just so nervous to be on with you, Tucker, since you're the king of cable. No, I was on the show when I was 8 years old. I was only on for 2 seasons, but it was a lot of fun. You know, Michael Landon was very spirited, as most people know, but he was very hardworking. You know, he was an entrepreneur. He owned that show. I don't know if people realize when he left Bonanza, he took that formula and he redid it on Little House, and he owned it, he produced it, he wrote it, he starred in it, and he was cheap as hell, which was very cool to see as a child, because in Hollywood you think of extravagant expense and people throwing money around. It was his money, so he knew better. And a lot of the kids learned the lesson from that. I was having dinner with Melissa Gilbert, and she said, you know, it's so interesting that none of us ended up like robbing a dry cleaner or, you know, the other things you hear about in rehab.
Yes,
and we all
totally
said
right.
It's because of Michael Landon. Like, he picked kids that were hard workers, but then he also taught us those very basic ethics that you actually saw on the show about showing up with your lines learned, hitting your mark, and the pride of you know, an honest day's work. And anyway, we took all that with us. So
and you wound up at Harvard and then
funny
Fox.
Stories. Yep.
The best. I'm going to buy that book. It is great.
I would expect nothing less.
I'm going to. Thanks. See ya.